In the serene town of Brooksville, nestled among rolling hills and picturesque landscapes, the sudden disappearance of Emily Carter, a well-known local journalist, stirs unease and confusion. Emily was last seen at the edge of town, investigating a series of anonymous threats she had received about a highly controversial development project. The project, spearheaded by Charles Thompson, a wealthy businessman with a reputation for being both influential and feared, promised to reshape the town's landscape but had also stirred significant controversy. Emily had been working tirelessly on an exposé about the project, uncovering potential illegal practices and hidden agendas. Her investigative skills had earned her respect, but also made her a target. As she dug deeper into the project's finances and the questionable practices surrounding it, she began receiving threats warning her to cease her investigation. Undeterred, Emily continued her work, convinced that the truth needed to be revealed. The day she vanished, Emily had planned to meet a confidential source who claimed to have crucial information about the project's illegal activities. The meeting was set for a secluded spot near the edge of the town's forest. When Emily didn't return home that evening, her family grew worried and reported her missing. Detective John Mitchell, known for his methodical approach and sharp instincts, is assigned to lead the investigation. Mitchell, a seasoned detective with years of experience solving high-profile cases, arrives at the scene, where the atmosphere is thick with tension. Emily's disappearance is a high-profile case due to her prominence in the community and the sensitive nature of her work. Mitchell begins his investigation by interviewing Emily's family and friends, gathering information about her recent activities and her last known whereabouts. Her family describes her as determined and passionate about her work, but also deeply troubled by the threat she had been receiving. Mitchell learns that Emily had been increasingly focused on the development project and had mentioned uncovering something significant. As Mitchell examines the area where Emily was last seen, he discovers no immediate evidence of a struggle or any signs that would indicate a violent confrontation. The absence of concrete leads leaves Mitchell with few clues. He delves into Emily's recent articles and notes, trying to piece together her investigation. The detective's inquiries lead him to Charles Thompson, the businessman behind the development project. Thompson is a formidable figure in Brooksville, known for his charm and influence. When Mitchell interviews Thompson, he presents himself as cooperative and concerned, expressing a willingness to assist in the investigation. Thompson denies any involvement in Emily's disappearance, maintaining that he had no reason to harm her. Despite Thompson's outward calm, Mitchell senses something off about the businessman's responses. Thompson's nonchalant demeanor and his quick dismissal of the investigation raise red flags for the detective. As Mitchell continues his inquiry, he uncovers that Emily had been working on an exposé that could potentially damage Thompson's reputation and the project's progress. With the investigation at a standstill and no immediate suspects, Mitchell realizes the case will require a careful and thorough approach. He begins to dig deeper into the connections between Emily's investigation and the project, seeking out anyone who might have had a motive to silence her. The town of Brooksville, once peaceful and idyllic, now finds itself at the center of a troubling mystery, with its residents anxiously awaiting answers. As Mitchell explores every angle, the shadow of Emily's disappearance looms over the town, and the search for the truth becomes increasingly urgent. The detective's challenge is to unravel the threads of deceit and uncover the secrets hidden beneath the surface, hoping to bring Emily back and shed light on the dark underbelly of Brooksville's seemingly tranquil life. As Detective John Mitchell continues his investigation into Emily Carter's disappearance, he uncovers a labyrinth of secrets and deceit surrounding the controversial development project led by Charles Thompson. The disappearance of Emily, a determined journalist with a reputation for exposing the truth, has become a major focus of concern within the community. The deeper Mitchell digs, the more he realizes the complexity of the case and the potential for hidden motives. Mitchell's initial interviews with Emily's family and colleagues reveal that she had been increasingly anxious about her investigation into Thompson's project. Emily had been receiving anonymous threats warning her to drop the investigation, but her dedication to uncovering the truth had driven her to persist despite the dangers. Her recent articles had hinted at widespread corruption, including allegations of bribery and environmental violations linked to the development project. The detective's focus shifts to Charles Thompson, the enigmatic and influential businessman behind the project. Thompson, a figure known for his charm and strategic acumen, is perceived by many as a powerful force in Brooksville. His involvement in the project has raised eyebrows due to the rapid and unchecked expansion plans, which some believe could be detrimental to the environment and local communities. Mitchell arranges a formal interview with Thompson at his lavish office, a space that reflects his wealth and power. During the interview, Thompson maintains a calm and composed demeanor. He claims to be deeply concerned about Emily's disappearance and offers his full cooperation with the investigation. Despite his outwardly friendly demeanor, Mitchell is not convinced. He senses that Thompson may be hiding something or that his polished persona is a facade meant to deflect suspicion. As the detective probes further, he uncovers that Emily had been in contact with another key individual, Sarah Lewis, a former employee of Thompson's company. Sarah had left the company under circumstances that seemed suspicious at the time. Her departure was abrupt, and there were rumors that she had been coerced into leaving. Mitchell learns that Sarah had been involved in the project and might possess crucial information about its inner workings and any potential wrongdoings. Mitchell tracks down Sarah and arranges to meet her in a quiet cafe, away from the prying eyes of the media and the public. Sarah, who is visibly nervous, initially hesitates to speak openly about her experiences. However, after some reassurance from Mitchell, she begins to share her story. Sarah reveals that she had been privy to many of the project's confidential details and had witnessed some troubling activities that raised red flags. According to Sarah, Emily had approached her shortly before her disappearance, seeking information about the project's illegal activities. Sarah admits that she had seen Emily at the office just days before she went missing and had sensed a growing sense of unease in her. She describes how Emily had mentioned receiving threats and her fear that someone might try to stop her from revealing the truth. Sarah's testimony provides Mitchell with a crucial lead. She describes a secret meeting between Emily and an anonymous source that was scheduled for the night of her disappearance. Sarah had been aware of this meeting but had been too frightened to come forward earlier. The information about the secret meeting aligns with what Mitchell knows about Emily's last days, giving him a new direction to pursue. Mitchell's investigation reveals that the project's finances are entangled with questionable transactions and connections to individuals with dubious reputations. He starts to piece together how Emily's investigation might have threatened the interests of powerful figures, including Thompson. The evidence suggests that Emily was close to uncovering a significant scandal that could have had far-reaching consequences. As Mitchell continues to delve into the case, he discovers that the development project's impact on the environment and the community was more severe than initially thought. There are signs of illegal dumping, bribery of local officials, and exploitation of vulnerable communities. The project's rapid progression, coupled with the suppression of dissenting voices, points to a systematic effort to conceal the truth. The detective's investigation becomes a race against time as he attempts to locate Emily and uncover the full extent of the conspiracy. He realizes that Emily's disappearance is not just about silencing a journalist, but about protecting a massive operation built on corruption and deceit. The stakes are high, and the more Mitchell uncovers, the clearer it becomes that the danger is far from over. The search for Emily takes on a new urgency as Mitchell works to expose the truth and ensure that justice is served. With each step forward, Mitchell finds himself deeper in a web of lies and cover-ups, but he remains determined to find Emily and bring those responsible to justice. The complexities of the case only strengthen his resolve, and he prepares for the challenges that lie ahead, knowing that the truth is buried beneath layers of deception and corruption. Detective John Mitchell's investigation into Emily Carter's disappearance has taken a dramatic turn with the revelations provided by Sarah Lewis. Her testimony and the hidden journal Emily left behind have unveiled a deeper conspiracy involving Charles Thompson and his development project. As Mitchell pieces together the evidence, he realizes that the case is more complex and dangerous than initially anticipated. With Sarah's cooperation, Mitchell has a clearer understanding of the events leading up to Emily's disappearance. The journal Emily kept is a critical piece of evidence. It contains detailed notes about her investigation, her suspicions regarding Thompson, and the threats she received. One entry stands out: Emily had been scheduled to meet with a confidential source on the night of her disappearance. This meeting was crucial, as Emily believed it would provide the final piece of evidence needed to expose Thompson's corruption. Mitchell intensifies his search for Emily, following the clues from the journal and Sarah's account. As he digs deeper, he discovers that the project's corruption reaches beyond Thompson. The development project involved multiple stakeholders, including local officials and influential figures who may have had a vested interest in silencing Emily. The complexity of the network of deceit becomes increasingly apparent, with each revelation leading to more questions. While investigating, Mitchell encounters a significant setback, evidence suggesting that someone within his own department may be involved in the conspiracy. Anonymous tips and subtle discrepancies in the case files point to possible interference from a trusted colleague. The realization of potential betrayal within his team adds another layer of urgency and danger to the investigation. Mitchell knows that if the integrity of the investigation is compromised, it could jeopardize not only Emily's safety but also the pursuit of justice. Mitchell confronts Sarah with the new evidence, and she expresses her fear of the growing threats against her. Despite her fear, she decides to remain in hiding to protect herself while continuing to assist Mitchell. Her bravery is evident as she provides additional information about the secret meeting Emily was supposed to attend. Sarah reveals that Emily had been in contact with a whistleblower who was ready to expose crucial details about the project's illegal activities. As the detective navigates this treacherous path, he uncovers that Emily's confidential source was someone with intimate knowledge of Thompson's operations. This individual had managed to stay under the radar, avoiding detection by the network of corrupt officials. Mitchell's investigation now focuses on finding this source, believing they hold the key to unraveling the entire conspiracy. In a shocking twist, Mitchell discovers that his own department has been compromised. Evidence surfaces that suggests a high-ranking officer, someone with access to sensitive information, may have been feeding details to Thompson's network. The betrayal is personal and painful, as Mitchell grapples with the realization that his efforts to bring justice are being undermined from within. With this new information, Mitchell faces a critical decision: expose the corrupt officer and risk jeopardizing the entire investigation, or find another way to navigate the treacherous waters of deceit. He chooses to proceed with caution, ensuring that the investigation remains on track while discreetly addressing the internal betrayal. His focus remains on rescuing Emily and bringing those responsible for her disappearance to justice. The case reaches a turning point as Mitchell and Sarah work together to identify the whistleblower. The detective organizes a covert operation to make contact with this crucial individual, who holds the final pieces of the puzzle. The operation is risky, with potential threats looming from both the corrupt officials and the compromised department. As Mitchell prepares for the operation, he is determined to protect the integrity of the investigation and ensure that Emily's efforts are not in vain. The stakes are higher than ever, and the path to justice is fraught with obstacles. With the betrayal within his ranks and the looming threat of corruption, Mitchell's resolve is tested as he moves closer to uncovering the truth and rescuing Emily. The investigation is now a high-stakes race against time, with the lives of those involved hanging in the balance. Mitchell's commitment to exposing the corruption and bringing Emily back safe drives him forward, despite the mounting challenges and the personal cost of uncovering the truth. The case of Emily Carter's disappearance has reached a critical juncture. Detective John Mitchell, armed with the evidence gathered from Sarah Lewis and Emily's hidden journal, prepares for a decisive confrontation with Charles Thompson. The complexities of the case have revealed a network of corruption involving not just Thompson, but also compromised officials and shadowy figures behind the development project. The stakes are higher than ever as Mitchell works to bring Emily home and expose the full extent of the conspiracy. Mitchell's breakthrough comes when he manages to locate the elusive whistleblower, who had been hiding from the corrupt network. The whistleblower, an insider with intimate knowledge of the project's illegal activities, agrees to cooperate with Mitchell. Their information is crucial. It confirms the details Emily had been investigating and reveals the extent of Thompson's wrongdoing. This insider's testimony is a game-changer, providing concrete evidence of bribery, environmental violations, and illegal land deals orchestrated by Thompson and his associates. The detective orchestrates a high-risk operation to apprehend Thompson and his accomplices. Mitchell plans to catch them red-handed during a covert meeting where they are expected to discuss the next phase of their corrupt scheme. The operation requires careful coordination, involving surveillance, intelligence gathering, and the cooperation of local law enforcement officials who are still trustworthy. The plan is to gather enough evidence to ensure a watertight case against Thompson and his network. On the night of the operation, tension runs high. Mitchell and his team set up surveillance in a discreet location near the meeting site. As they wait, the weight of the investigation's progress and the potential danger to Emily press heavily on the detective. He knows that this operation is the linchpin of the entire case and that any misstep could jeopardize the outcome. The meeting unfolds as expected, with Thompson and several high-ranking officials convening to discuss their plans. Mitchell's team captures the entire event on camera, recording conversations that detail the extent of their illegal activities and their efforts to silence dissenting voices. The evidence is damning, and it becomes clear that Thompson's network is far-reaching, with connections to powerful figures in both the private sector and local government. As the meeting concludes, Mitchell's team moves in to make the arrests. Thompson and his associates are taken into custody without incident. The operation's success is a significant victory, but Mitchell's thoughts remain with Emily. The detective knows that the next crucial step is to locate her and ensure her safety. Mitchell's investigation reveals that Emily had been held in a remote location by Thompson's associates, who had hoped to keep her from exposing their crimes. With the network dismantled, the rescue operation to find Emily is launched. Sarah Lewis, who has been assisting from the sidelines, plays a pivotal role in guiding Mitchell to the location based on her knowledge of the project's operations and the network's activities. The rescue operation is executed with precision. Emily is found safe but shaken, hidden in a secluded cabin where she had been held under constant surveillance. The sight of Emily's relief and gratitude is a profound moment for Mitchell and his team. Her return marks the culmination of months of investigation and struggle, and it symbolizes the triumph of truth and justice over corruption. With Thompson and his associates in custody, the legal process begins. The evidence collected from the surveillance operation and Emily's journal proves to be instrumental in securing convictions. The scandal surrounding the development project rocks the town of Brooksville and beyond, leading to a broader investigation into corruption and illegal practices. Emily returns to her journalistic work with a renewed sense of purpose, determined to continue her fight against corruption. Her bravery and persistence have brought about significant change, exposing a web of deceit and ensuring that those responsible are held accountable. For Detective John Mitchell, the case represents a hard-fought victory in the battle against corruption and injustice. The resolution of Emily's disappearance and the dismantling of the corrupt network underscore his commitment to upholding the law and protecting those who seek the truth. As Brooksville begins to recover from the scandal, the town reflects on the lessons learned and the importance of vigilance in the face of corruption. The case concludes with a sense of justice restored and a commitment to transparency and accountability for the future.